Hi, I'm here to talk about teaching reading today. My name is Vivian Polo, and we are going to cover the introduction of teaching literacy to ESOL students. What's really important is I get a lot of, but my endorsement is going to be in social studies as well, or my endorsement is going to be in math as well. And the one thing that I want to make very clear, and you'll hear me say this many, many times, is that everyone is a reading teacher now. Children need to learn how to read in all the different content areas. And their need for increased literacy is so imperative that there's no way that anyone, including a math teacher, a science teacher, cannot think of themselves as someone who teaches reading, the act of thinking, and the act of acquiring vocabulary as part of their job. So that's what we'll be doing. We're going to be doing, in teaching reading, very specifically content area reading. One of your big projects will be a text set in which you will decide you will use either social studies or science. We're not going to touch mathematics because that gets to another complicated area. We're just in social studies or science. You'll pick one theme, one unit that you would be using it for. So if you were going to do Civil War, or if you were going to use plants in science, you're going to be saying, okay, so these are the units. You're going to take the standards from the SOLs, say these standards are going to be covered in that unit. You will not be writing the lesson plan. What you'll be doing for this is you're going to take those that you would potentially be using to write a lesson plan. You're going to take those standards and go, these are the standards we'll be covering. Then you're going to get a text that would preferably have been used already, perhaps at your field placement, but you could also go to the library and say, what would fourth grade plants look like to the librarian, and they're very helpful and they will help you. And you will use that as your original classroom text that all fourth graders would be using. Then beyond that, you're going to say, okay, I have 5 kids and they're across 3 instructional reading levels. This brings up a confusion that happens every year. Instructional reading levels has almost nothing to do with their ESOL levels. There's a strong correlation that an ESOL level 1 child would be somewhere in this range or that range or whatever. But right now we're looking at where they can read. What can they read? What can they not read? And we will do that more on a Saturday session with more detail. But the instructional reading, you must list which instructional reading levels you'll be addressing. Then you're going to find books and materials to cover those instructional reading levels. Beyond that, then you're going to modify the original text that you chose. And in the end, you'll have a completed text set that you could use in a unit when you're pushing into a classroom. What is really, really important for you to understand is that you will not be doing this in 1 week. You'll be submitting a portion of a text set on week 3, another portion of a text set on another week, and then another week, and another week. It is sequential, and they must correlate to one another. It's all the same text set. And I'll be there to help you all the way along the way. One way to be very successful in teaching reading is to understand that it is a sequential module that you must do each assignment and complete the assignment before you move on to the next assignment, which includes reading your peers' papers, giving peer reviews, reading reviews that have been given to you, your peer responses, because you learn so much from that, as well as any feedback that your instructor might be giving you. Then moving on to the next lesson and to the next lesson. Then the final assignment, it will be your text set, and we will hopefully be doing a lot of teaching reading together.